this. I don't. This is the cheesy Grogu scene where this confirms the rumors from I don't know. I feel like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
he literally hops in the IG unit, and now he's Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He's Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, essentially, with the speech pattern for 2 words: yes and no.
Yes and no, and he literally has no weapons, no way to actually defend himself or attack anyone or do anything. He just walks around in the droid.
It's literally just a more elaborate baby carriage for him. It's like, oh, we can't keep computer animating this hovering ball that he sits in, so we'll just get a motion captured suit and replace him with a droid. It was like, that's still the same work, man. Like, I don't get why. Like, they took out the memory course.
It's a Gundam.
So now it's just an autonomous. So now it's just an exoskeleton for the kid, but has no weapons that we know of.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, look, he's walking around like it's a toy.
It's a Gundam.
And it's literally, that's what it is. They're just trying to sell a toy with Grogu inside the IG.
This is this month's accessory to Grogu.
Yeah. Yes. I was like, shut up.
No.
Up. I was actually I was like totally with, and then he gets his eggs, of course. He gets his like tiny caviar eggs here. There he is. I don't know if those are eggs or whatever those are, but
looks like chicken tenders or something.
Gotta have Grogu eating if he's gonna do anything. So here he is eating away, and then I don't know. I just these scenes do nothing for me. Any like stuff like this just does nothing because it's there to be there and make Grogu look cute, and that's it. I don't know. And JC says merchandise. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the very joke Mel Brooks made in Spaceballs is the thing Disney's been trying to do since The Mandalorian began.
So then we get this the what you're talking about here with the roast or the feast or whatever, and they're like clearly like whispering about the the Children of the Watch, and the Children of the Watch are just standing there like silent, watching them eat. And then Bo-Katan literally just comes out and is like, all right, who's going to come with me on my recon mission to we're all going to go to Mandalore. I need a team that's going to go to the ground with me while the rest of the fleet stays above the planet. And I'm just like, why? This doesn't make any sense. We already saw you go to the planet, land on the planet, and like dive down into the capital city. So why can't you just bring everyone there? And why wouldn't you bring everyone into the planet unless you're keeping them outside? Like, I don't understand the point of not bringing them to the planet. Any thoughts on why she's just like, we're doing a recon mission and everyone else stay outside? I mean, I guess the reason is keep costs down. You don't want a full army right now. I don't know. But like, you could at least have a landing zone and a base, and then you do your scouting mission after you kind of like have a base.
Yeah, they just like, we're going to keep all this fleet in orbit, and even though they're completely capable of landing, because we just saw the sequence of them doing that on Navarro. And I'm like, okay, you're
not at a spaceport or anything.
We have all these we have all these actors, we have all these day players. They're clearly sitting in the volume, so you don't really have any issues with regards to cost of that, because you can all do that within the same expense period during production. So really, it's just like, we want to show all these Mandalorians, then we want to just have a small scouting crew, do their thing. And I get that. I understand that with regards to shooting and trying to keep things simple, but you're not having fun with the concept of what it is to be Mandalorians and how they work as a unit and all those aspects. Instead, what you actually have is you have them say, okay, so we have the fleet, we're going to keep it in orbit, and then we're going to take one scout ship down. But before we even land the scout ship, we're still going to drop Mandalorians to scout ahead anyways. And I'm thinking, well, a ship's kind of more sturdy than like a dozen of Mandalorians with only their Beskar to protect them. So do you really need them to drop first before you I mean, I understand them dropping them if you want to disperse and attack something, but
right.
you have scopes and you can read things once you get past the magnetic interference in the atmosphere. Like they established that. So just land. You don't have to do this elaborate stuff. There's no concept of strategy or simplicity when it comes to what they're trying to display on the screen.
And none of them actually have their weapons at the ready.
No, they don't.
Still holstered.
We're just going to drop.
We're just dropping to drop, and then she literally lands like right after that. I mean, it's
like they drop from high above where they have a greater field of vision, and then they land and they look around and be like, yeah, it's still all clear. It's like you could see that from above. That's the whole point of a vantage point above the surface, to see a greater area of it's just.
And then we go back to season 1, episode 1, and they land as far away as they possibly can from their objective. And we know Bo-Katan knows this planet. We get exposition from Axe Woves and whatever Sasha Banks' character's name is, I can't remember, that they also know the planet. They were here, so they should know where the Great Forge is on the planet. Like it didn't all of a sudden move.
I mean,
so
listen, even if the surface was kind of damaged to a varying degree of unrecognizable aspects of it, which is fair, there might be some type of either landmass or marker that they could use as a point of reference to be like, oh, look, yes, we can see that this island that everybody knew about has been crystallized, but that island hasn't moved. But we know in relation to that island where the forge is, so let's set coordinates to there and then land on top of it. And if we have to drill down or dig down, we can. It's not like the entire planetary surface. The geology of it has changed where continents and land masses are no longer in the same position where they were. That has not been established when it came to the siege of Mandalore.
In fact, the opposite is established because Bo-Katan still knows where the capital city is and where the living waters are, which we saw in episodes 2 and 3.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, if we know where the living waters are, and that's our point of reference, then it's like, well, where was the forge in relation to the living waters? Oh, over there. That's where we're going to land. It's
so this was what was wild. Like when she comes out of the ship, we get this like dialogue from her. She says, "We'll survey the surface until we find the forge." And so she seemingly doesn't even know where it is now. So again, like I'm like, what? You know where it is. We know you know where it is. Like,
you lived on Mandalore how many years?
Yeah. So I know we've talked about the editing and they like maybe shoot it all together and then they cut it up. Cause it's like, do they not, was this shot before they actually, or I don't like, did they have some other idea of them? Like what happened in episode 2 and 3 with them actually coming to Mandalore before? Cause like the way this is shot, it's like, this is her first time arriving on the planet.
Yeah.
And like things have changed or something.
I mean,
like
it would be
like terraforming or something.
It'd be like someone from New York who had left for a while, and then they came back after New York had faced something tragic, and be like, "Okay, we need to find where Penn Station is, and I know where it is based on its position of the Sears Tower or of the Empire State Building. So if we can find that, I know where to go." And it's like, well, they get there and they see it, and they're like, "Well, we got to scout out for Penn Station." It's like that. No New Yorker, no native to any sort of city. But even if it's Seattle and the Space Needle, even if it's Washington and 1600 Pennsylvania, like they would know, they know where the markers are or something. They'd always be searching for something familiar for them to base their reference point on to go. And the fact that you have Mandalorians born and raised on this planet, some who even lived nearby the forge, can't figure that out is just asinine.
And they literally have maps like that. Like there's a whole scene in the first episode, I think, or maybe it's the second episode, the beginning of the second episode, where Din is like, as a Mandalorian, you need to know the galaxy and the maps and stuff.
You need to know how to navigate. Yeah.
You clearly have maps. You've lived there before. You have like some at least maps of what it used to look like and where it would be in location of the planet. So you have that as well to locate where this is or know where it is in the first place. So Cider, I am gonna Cider's over here trying to make Gundam references, and it's like you're crapping on Gundam. That is not a Gundam. That is not a Gundam. A Gundam is a cool
It's a lamer version of Ripley's exosuit for lifting in Aliens.
Yeah. You're insulting Gundam here, Cider. That is an insult to Gundam. I love Gundam. That is nothing anywhere near a Gundam. A Gundam is a giant robotic suit that is basically the space version of a fighter jet. But it has way cooler weapons. It's got guns. It's humanoid usually, and they can a lot of times they have different forms, or they can get different forms. They get upgrades and stuff.